Hi, and welcome back to another AnyRPG tutorial. In this series, I demonstrate how to use the AnyRPG engine to build your game. In this tutorial, we will be adding some voiceovers to some dialogues and some cutscenes that were generously donated to us by Hand Avatar, so you can see how to add some more interactivity to your game. I've already got a game loaded, and I'm just going to be demonstrating here what functionality we're looking for. So if I click on Apprentice Historian Flair here, he's going to walk around, and he has this dialogue playing right now, and it's going to change the text and tell a bit of a story, but we would like to be able to actually have him talking, so we'll be adding the voices so that whenever the text changes, the associated audio track will be playing. Likewise, the cutscenes in the game are also controlled by dialogues, so we can add audio to the dialogue that controls the cutscene, and we'll get audio associated with that as well. So at the bottom of the screen here, you can see that we've got some subtitles, and we'll be having voices playing over top of those subtitles. So I'm going to jump out of the game here and we'll just go through that together. I've already organized my audio tracks here in a folder, and they're organized according to the name of the dialogue that I will be adding them to. And what we'll need to do is basically make audio profiles for these audio files, and then we can link those audio profiles from the dialogue. So if you look at some previous ones where we've already added dialogues and audio profiles, we have this dialogue called History of Magic, and you can see it as an audio profile associated with it. And what that'll do is for each dialogue node, we'll play the associated audio file from the audio profile, just using basically the same index order. So element 0 of the dialogue nodes will play the first item on the list in this audio profile. Let's just go look at that audio profile for a second just to see what that looks like. So if we go to the voice here and we go to the History of Magic, you can see I've got these 4 audio profiles or audio clips, and they'll play in the same order as the dialogue clips. So let's go ahead and make some audio profiles for our new audio files. So we'll need an Mana Seal cutscene, Sunsworn History 3 and 4, and War of the Magi. So under the resources folder here, we're going to go into audio profiles and voice, and we'll be adding Mana Seal cutscene, Sunsworn History 3 and 4, and War of the Magi. I can hit Control D to duplicate any existing audio profile, or I can right click on Create and go to AnyRPG and Audio Profile. So let's make the Sunsworn History 3. We'll need to set the resource name here to Sunsworn History 3. And then I'm just going to duplicate this one. And it automatically got named Sunsworn History 4, and then we'll just change the name up here to Sunsworn History 4. Now let's duplicate that again, and we'll make this one into War of the Magi. So I'll hit F2 to rename that and call that War of the Magi, and set the resource name to War of the Magi. Next, we'll make the Mana Seal cutscene, and I'm just going to name it basically the exact same thing, so I'm just going to copy that name right there. I'm going to duplicate the War of the Magi by hitting Control D, and then I'm going to give it the name Mana Seal cutscene, copying in that name that I pasted, and then right here, Mana Seal cutscene. Alright, now that I have these audio profiles, we can add the audio clips to them. So let's lock the inspector right here. With the Mana Seal cutscene, we will go into the folder where I have all the audio files. I will click on the first one, hold down Shift, and click on the last one to select them all, and then drag them over into the audio clips, and they all came in the right order, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I'll do that again for the Sunsworn History and the War of the Magi. So we'll go back to the folder where I've got my audio profiles here. I'll lock the inspector on Sunsworn History 3. I'll go back to the folder where I have my audio files. I'll shift click to select all the Sunsworn History 3 and pull in the audio clips there, and they came in the right order, 1, 2, 3, 4, so that's good. Then I'll unlock the inspector. I will go back to the folder where we've got the voice audio profiles. I'll lock the inspector on Sunsworn History 4. Go back to the folder where I have all the audio files. Shift click to select all of those and pull them into the audio clips array, and they came in the right order, 1, 2, 3, 4. Finally, I'll unlock the inspector and do the same for the War of the Magi. So we will go down into the audio profile. We'll lock the inspector for the War of the Magi audio profile. Then we will go back to the folder where the audio files are. We'll hold down Shift to select all of these and drag them into the audio clips there. They came in the right order, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now we have audio profiles, and now it's time to associate those audio profiles with our existing dialogues that our character has. So for the War of the Magi dialogue, we'll just put the audio profile name exactly the same, War of the Magi. And now it'll play those audio clips whenever the element changes and we put a new dialogue up. Next, we will want to do the same thing for the Mana Seal cutscene. So the audio profile is Mana Seal cutscene. And then we'll want to do the same for the Sunsworn History 3 and 4. So the audio profile here is Sunsworn History 3. And then in Sunsworn History 4, we'll put in the audio profile Sunsworn History 4. Okay, good. That should be all that's needed. We're just going to save everything there and press play. And I'm going to load up the game again with my tester here in the Sun Temple. I'm just going to turn down my background music here a little bit. So I'll go to sound here. Shut my music volume almost all the way down just to make sure that we can hear the voices.
Although mana could grant sentience to anything it touched, it did not grant intelligence or wisdom. Fire elementals would burn everything around them. Likewise, the dead would come back to life with an eternal grudge against everyone. Wars tore the world apart and threatened to destroy it, until the Sundancer twins created the Sunsworn, with the goal of banning magic use and protecting the world from harm. They amassed an army of followers and tried to convince everyone to abandon their harmful ways. Not everyone agreed, and there were many battles.
So one of the things that you can notice in this scene is that the voices, basically you can't hear them over the sound effects. And so what I'll be doing in a future episode is I'll be adding different volume controls for sound effects and for voices so that you can actually separate those two things. For now, though, we'll just continue going through this quest chain and just making sure that all the voices are working properly.
When the last battle had been won, there was a problem to deal with. Something had to be done about all the mana still in the environment. The power of the sun could contain it, but at night, the Sunsworn were powerless. They had to find a solution that allowed them to contain the mana safely at all times. It was decided that some of the technology created by magic use would be repurposed to create a seal that would work at all times.
And we'll start the final cutscene here and just make sure that the subtitles are working.
A remote location was chosen in the desert where the sun always shone. A large well called the Mana Seal was built to contain the collected mana. It used the power of the sun to form an impenetrable barrier.
I don't know why this cutscene is so jittery. My computer is slowing down here, but the dialogues are working pretty good.
Special automations called Lunamex would collect the light rays during the day.
Alright, that's better now. It seems to have sped up.
When the sun set, the Lunamex would release the stored energy to maintain the shield.
Okay, and that's the end of the quest chain, and sorry about that. Wow, that was really loud. So I hope you enjoyed that, and as always, if you did, then don't forget to thumbs up the video, subscribe to the AnyRPG YouTube channel, or just leave a note in the comments. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you next time.